Yo, yo, yo. Good evening, USA, International, Canada, Long Island, aka Strong Island, plus the five spots of Brooklyn, Bronx, Manhattan, Staten Island, and Queens, alongside with the tri state areas of the New Jersey and Connecticut, plus the five boroughs of Brooklyn, Bronx, Manhattan, Staten Island, and Queens. This is your man and homie, G Money Stacks, aka the Gregonator, rhymes with now or later. Your host with the most misunderstood, lonely nomad, unstoppable independent podcaster, creator, YouTuber, and of course, Queens, New York native who is also a New York Mets fan and New York Giants fan from the neck of the woods of Laurelton, Queens, New York. You are now rocking with me by listening, tuning in, streaming, and watching the 155th episode of the entertainment review show, Meticulous Vibe Juice Podcast. Happy Friday, everybody. I hope y'all enjoying your TGIF Friday. Hope y'all have plans for the weekend, all that great stuff. We're live and direct from StreamYard alongside with YouTube and the comfort of my room where I do my podcast recordings. And of course, the purpose of this platform right here is to basically go over some music artists, whether it's hip hop, whether it's R&B, whether it's whatever music genre it is, as far as like the discographies, the bodies of work of albums, mixtapes, EPs, LPs, some music news in hip hop, whatsoever, some movie news alongside with some TV news and actually reviews of what's old and new with movies and TV shows actually. And of course some video game news that you guys are looking forward to as far as new games that's coming out, as far as like old games that already came out that I am going to actually talk about and review. So if you can do me a favor and click on the subscribe button on the YouTube channel page of Meticulous Vibe Juice Podcast, leave a like and a comment alongside with the topics being discussed in each episode. And if you missed out on any episodes, please feel free to actually take a look at the episodes and actually share with your husbands, your wives, your boyfriends, girlfriends, people you are cool with from work, and of course some friends of yours. All right. Now, I do want to highlight Bad Bunny for the Super Bowl 60 performance that he did actually. So that's what we're going to talk about first. And for those of you that are new here, welcome to the show. Appreciate you for being here. So we're gonna go to a first segment right here is, hang on, there it is right here, music Kool-Aid. All right, so let's do this actually. There we go. All right, let's get into some highlights of Bad Bunny and alongside with some other music stuff to talk about here. So let's do this. I know some of you were under a lot of pressure in terms of trying to learn Spanish and stuff, but you don't need to do that. All right. So let's get into it. Let's get into it right here. So some highlights of Bad Bunny, right? According to Complex, that's what we're gonna get to. All right. So um who according to Complex, who needs the Super Bowl when you have the Benito Bowl? More than a year after releasing his sixth studio album, Debbie T. Ramos Photos, Bad Bunny capped off one of the great years in contemporary pop culture by performing at the Super Bowl 60 halftime show. The matchup was a defensive struggle between the New England Patriots and the Seattle Seahawks, and what the game lacked in excitement, Bad Bunny more than made up for. And yeah, I did talk about the Seattle Seahawks who won Super Bowl 60 on my sports podcast, Excellent Fun Vibrant Talks podcast on my sports show. You can check that out on YouTube as well. Um, in a lot of ways, the performance captured why he became utterly transcendent in 2025. The way he merges culture, history, politics, and addictive music appears effortless. Leading up to the performance, there were weeks of manufactured controversy over the fact that he wouldn't speak English during the performance, a point Benito himself commented on this week when he said English wasn't important, knowing how to dance was. The show's core was a cultural conversation, a warm welcome to Puerto Rico, an open arms hug to Latin countries, Latin countries everywhere. Bad Bunny's performance was a stunning follow up to Kendrick Lamar's, which was largely framed around his eviscer- evisceration of Drake. Uh, some some key takeaways from Bad Bunny's Super Bowl halftime show. So let's get to it. The show was Puerto Rican as hell. Oh shit. Oh shit. So the power of Bad Bunny has always been his ability to pull listeners into his world, not the other way around. That shows up most clearly in his music, which pays homage to the Puerto Rican genres that raised him while directly confronting the island's political ills. That same philosophy carried into his residency. If you wanted to see him perform in the States, you had to go to Puerto Rico and, in the process, support the island itself. An idea that Bad Bunny has said was influenced in part of ISIS' heavy-handed presence on the mainland. Shit. That's crazy, man, what ICE is doing. Yo, they really trying to do him dirty and along with others. Damn. Before I continue, I want to give a shout out to the cast of The Simpsons making their 800 episode milestone. This cartoon is not really going to end anytime soon. So keep up the good work to the directors, Matt Groening, producers, directors, and everyone else in between. I hope you have many more success in the future. I want to make some noise for the Simpsons cast for making it to the 800 episode, which has which hardly I can't recall the last time any cartoon has made over 800 episodes. I can't really recall, but this is the one that I actually grew up with. So so I am going to make some noise for The Simpsons. And the fact that they have another sequel to the Simpsons movie, even though it got delayed to what is it, September of next year. And I think the reason why they did that is because they need more time to to develop the story, and of course a lot of recordings doing voice acting work. So that's what it is though. So let's make some noise for The Simpsons 800 episode milestone celebration. All right, so it's no surprise that even on the biggest stage, his show was unapologetically Puerto Rican. The performance functioned as a rich collage of um hold up, hold on. Yeah, sorry about that. I was my arrow was like freezing up and stuff, so that's why I was like trying to figure out what was wrong with it. But anyway, as I was saying before, so it's no surprise that even on the biggest stage, his show was unapologetically Puerto Rican. The performance functioned as a rich collage of PR references. Large portions were set in a sugarcane field and backed by a salsa band. The pink and yellow La, La, Cas, La Casita house featured through the residency returned with Cardi B, Carol G, and Pedro Pascal appearing inside. Puerto Rican boxer Xander Zayas shows up alongside um, Emiliano Vargas mid-show. Tonita, the legendary owner of a Puerto Rican social club in New York City, even handed him a drink. It was a performance packed with Easter eggs and frantic energy, one that celebrated the joy of Puerto Rican culture. Okay. All right, let's keep going here. Um Okay, let's keep going here. So let's keep going here. Um, let's see. So the guests were unexpected. So people have been speculating for months about the guests Bad Bunny would bring out. In the lead up to the show, betting sites featured a bunch of action, like names like Travis Scott and Jay Blavin popping up most frequently. Bad Bunny, however, remained tight-lipped at his press conference, offering no hints. The guests who did appear shocked me, considering that Bad Bunny and Lady Gaga have no songs together. Her appearance was not on my 2026 bingo card, but it was a nice, inclusive touch. She performed a salsa version of her Bruno Mars duet Die with a Smile. In retrospect, it shouldn't have been surprising. She voiced her support for Benito in an interview with People magazine. And given that the performance was in Spanish, Gaga's English language interlude made for a brilliant crossover moment. The other musical guest, Ricky Martin, was a more likely but still surprising choice, considering all the reggaeton greats Bad Bunny could have brought out. Ricky was not only a pioneering pop figure, but also an early supporter of Bad Bunny, providing ghost vocals on X 100 Pre back in 2018. Bad Bunny could have brought anyone on stage, and choosing two legacy acts who resonate with both American and global audiences was smart. Now, the Grammy moment was the most powerful moment of the performance. During the performance, a family watches Benito's Ice Out Grammy speech when he won the Best Musica Urbana Album Award. Benito then appears and hands one of the family members, a young boy, the Grammy he just won, telling him in Spanish, "This is forever for you." The moment was profound and open to interpretation. Most directly, it was Bad Bunny inspiring the next generation, showing that Puerto Ricans and Latinos more broadly can dominate the world's biggest stages from the Grammys to the Super Bowl. It was a passing of the torch, placing legacy, possibility, and visibility into a child's hands. The gesture also stood out as one of the most overtly political moments of the performance. Early online confusion mistook the boy for Liam Ramos, the 5-year old detained by ICE, whose case sparked nationwide outrage. Given the resemblance, the moment seems like a direct nod to the ICE incident. And he said, and Bad Bunny said, in quote, we're not savages, we're not animals, we're not aliens, we are humans and we are Americans." This, of course, was part of Bad Bunny's Best Musica Urbana album acceptance speech. Given the weight of that moment, it felt inevitable that his NFL appearance would carry some political heat. At some time, this is the NFL, and there was only so much the league was going to let Yeah, sorry about that, folks. My laptop's being slow at the moment, but just bear with me here. As I was saying before, since Jay Z and Rock Nation became involved with the Super Bowl halftime show, there has been a noticeable elevation, not only in the talent chosen, but in how these artists use the stage to tell a story. Whether it was Dr. Dre framing his performance around his own mythology, Rihanna exploring motherhood, or Kendrick Lamar showcasing his dominance through the lens of the American project. These performances stand out as as some of the best in Super Bowl history. When it's all said and done, Bad Bunny might have topped them all. Yes, narrative was also at the heart of Bad Bunny's show, but there was a level of performance rigor and craft at play that set it apart. It wasn't just the flood of details and references, it was the breakneck speed at which they arrived and effortless with which he performed, rarely letting the pace comprise the show. His set list was unusual but efficient. 8 songs spanning his career. Shout out to Yo Parillo Sola, yet not presented in a strictly linear way. While while DB Tara Moss photos clearly inspired some of the show's creative direction. It wasn't the driving force behind the set list, with songs from the album being mostly sprinkled in. The performance ended with DTMF, and it was almost understated. The only portion performed was the emotional, nostalgic hook. So, congratulations to Bad Bunny on the Super Bowl performance and getting the Grammy award. That's that's pretty cool though, man. Yeah, pretty cool. Yeah, it's pretty cool though, man. Actually, shit. Um all right, so let's get into the next one right here. Wiz Khalifa. All right. All right, so according to Hip Hop Vibe, multi-platinum selling Grammy and Golden Globe nominated recording artist Wiz Khalifa is officially bringing the vibes back this spring. The Pittsburgh rapper has announced the Macrodose Tour, a special 420 celebration run that will hit 4 select cities before culminating at the legendary Red Rocks Amphitheater in Colorado. The limited tour will feature an all-star lineup with support from two Chainz, Burner, and longtime collaborator DJ Bonix. Known for his high-energy live performances and cannabis culture influence, Wiz Khalifa's 420 theme run is poised to be one of the most talked about hip hop events of April 2026. Wiz Khalifa has long been synonymous with 420 culture, from his early mixtape era to mainstream success with hits like Black and Yellow, We Them Boys, and See You Again. Wiz has built a brand that blends laid back charisma, motivational energy, and cannabis advocacy. The Macrodose tour taps directly into that identity. Rather than launching a full national run, Wiz is keeping this tour intimate and focused. With only 4 stops scheduled, each show is positioned to feel exclusive and celebratory. The tour kicks off April 15th. Mark your calendars in Gautier, Mississippi, before making stops in Arkansas and Kansas. It concludes April 19th at Red Rocks Amphitheater in Morrison, Colorado, one of the most iconic outdoor venues in the country. Red Rocks has hosted legendary performances across genres. For hip hop artists, performing there represents a milestone. For Wiz Khalifa, closing out a 420 celebration tour at the venue adds symbolic weight to the run. All star support: Two Chains, Burner, and DJ Bonix. The Macrodose tour lineup strengthens its appeal with the addition of Two Chains, Burner, and DJ Bonix. Yeah, Two Chains brings mainstream appeal and high energy stage presence. With a catalog full of platinum records and crowd anthems, his addition ensures fans will get a dynamic, hit filled performance. His chemistry with Wiz Khalifa dates back years, making this collaboration feel organic rather than forced. Burner, a longtime figure in both music and cannabis entrepreneurship, fits seamlessly into the tour's theme as a respected independent artist and business mogul. His presence reinforces the cultural angle of the 420 celebration. DJ Bonix, who has toured extensively with Wiz, rounds out the lineup. His role as a DJ and hype presence ensures that each show maintains momentum from start to finish. Together, this group offers a balanced experience. Fans can expect nostalgia, new hits, and celebratory energy throughout the night. Why a limited four-stop run matters, you ask? In an era when artists often announce 30 or 40 city tours, Wiz Khalifa's decision to limit the macro dose tour to four stops stands out. Scarcity drives demand. With only 4 dates, each show becomes a destination event. Fans may travel across state lines to attend. That exclusivity adds urgency to ticket sales. Additionally, a short run allows Wiz to focus on delivering high quality performances without the fatigue that can accompany longer tours. It creates the feel of a special event rather than a routine stop on a national circuit. For fans searching for unique live hip hop experiences in 2026, this tour checks that box. Okay, so for ticket information and pre-sale details, it goes like this. Tickets for the Macrodose tour will be in phases. So artist pre-sale begins. Well, actually, it started already. Actually, so you might want to hurry up and get your tickets. It started last week from February 12th and Friday the 13th last week. So, uh, official ticket information and updates, fans can visit wizkhalifa.com/pages/tour. Given the limited nature of the run and the 420 theme, demand is expected to be strong. Early access through pre-sales may offer the best chance to secure seats. Wiz Khalifa's live legacy. Wiz Khalifa has built a reputation as one of hip hop's most consistent touring artists. From major festival appearances to headlining international runs, he understands how to engage a crowd. His shows typically blend upbeat anthems with reflective moments. Songs like Young, Wild, and Free remain crowd favorites years after release. Meanwhile, newer material continues to expand his live catalog. The 420 theme also creates a communal atmosphere. Wiz's concerts often feel like celebrations rather than traditional performances. Fans know what to expect. The vibe is relaxed but energetic. The music speaks for itself. Performing at Red Rocks Amphitheater on April 19th could become one of the defining moments of the tour. The natural acoustics and scenic backdrop elevate any performance. For a 420 adjacent show, the setting feels fitting. The Macrodose tour dates includes April 15th, Gautier, Mississippi, the Sound Amphitheater. April 17th, Bentonville, Arkansas, The Momentary. April 18th, Wichita, Kansas, at the Wave. And April 19th, Morrison, Colorado, Red Rocks Amphitheater. Each city offers a distinct setting, but all share the same celebratory theme. Wiz Khalifa's Macrodos Tour delivers a focused, culturally aligned 420 celebration for 2026 by limiting the run to 4 stops and bringing along two chains, Burner and DJ Bonix. Wiz ensures that each night feels like an event rather than a routine show. For longtime fans and casual listeners alike, this tour represents a chance to experience one of hip hop's most recognizable figures in a curated setting. With pre-sales already started last week, February 12th, and general tickets started on Friday the 13th of last week. Interested fans should plan ahead. Spring 2026 is shaping up to be busy for hip hop touring, but few events carry the thematic consistency and fan driven anticipation of the Macro Dose tour. So hurry up and get your tickets. Don't wait too long. All right. So let's talk some hood movies, man. Let's talk some hood movies actually. And let's talk some hood movies, man. So some hood movies includes Juice and Don't Be a Menace to South Central. Of course, obviously, the name of this episode is Drinking Juice in Your Hood of the Summertime. Um, yeah. So here we go. Here we go. First things first, in the Chillax Man Cave Popcorn Lounge, we're going to be going over and reviewing the 1992 classic movie that is timeless. We're going to be talking about the hood movie, rated R film, Juice. All right. The first time I heard about this movie, I didn't know Tupac was in this movie until I saw the bus ad for it though, and the billboard, which is interesting. So here we go. Juice is a 1992 American crime thriller film directed by Ernest R. Dickinson, written by Dickinson and Gerard Brown, and starring Omar Epps, the late great Tupac Shakur, Jermaine Hopkins, and Khalil Kane. It follows 4 Black youths growing up in Harlem, following their day-to-day activities, their struggles with police misconduct, rival neighborhood gangs, and their families. Oh shit. Yeah, and of course it was distributed by Paramount Pictures. Um yeah, so the film marked the first acting role for Epps, Kane, and Shakur. It was shot in Harlem in 1991. So there you go, right there. And the budget, you're not gonna believe what the budget is for Juice. $5 million. That's that's not really crazy yet. Well, that's pretty crazy though. But in a way though, man, it sounds a little crazy though, man. But yeah, though, man, the movie was filmed between March and April 1991. Daryl Mitchell, Tretch from Naughty by Nature, Money B, and Donald Faison had auditioned for the role of Roland Bishop, but none were considered right for the role. Shakur accompanied Money B to the audition and asked producer Neil H. Moritz to read. He was given 15 minutes to rehearse before the audition and secure the role. Tretch and Faison landed cameo roles as a rival gang member and a high school student, respectively. Yeah. So the film received generally positive reviews. Roger Ebert gave the film 3 stars out of 4 stars, praising the film as one of those stories with the quality of a nightmare in which foolish young men try to out macho one another until they get trapped in a violent situation which will forever alter their lives. Owen Gleiberman of Entertainment Weekly gave the film a B plus grade, praising the depiction of 4 young characters who try to gain complete self control over their surroundings. Gleiberman also found out the film is an inflammatory morality play shot through with rage and despair. Like Boys in the Hood and Straight Outta Brooklyn, it asks, when every aspect of your environment is defined by violence, is it possible to avoid getting sucked into the maelstrom? Maelstrom. Yeah. Dickinson also received praise for his directorial skills coming out from behind Spike Lee's camera. Ernest Dickinson um has instantly arrived at the forefront of the new wave of black directors. His film aims for the gut and hits it. Juice holds a rating of 81% on Rotten Tomatoes based on 32 reviews, with an average rating of 6.5 out of 10. The consensus summarizes Juice hits hard as a tense, provocative morality play with assured direction from first timer Ernest Dickinson and commanding central performances. On Metacritic, the film holds a score of 60 out of 100 based on 17 critics indicating mixed or average reviews. Yeah, so like I was saying, man, the budget for the R-rated film is $5 million, and it made back some of the money to $20.1 million. That is $20.1 million. And that's and let me just say this shit though, man. If that amount already made back some of the money over 5 million, that's not a fucking flop, man. It's not a fucking flop. I mean, think about it. Think about it though, man. Like that's not a bad movie, man. And to be honest, it is it is one of the best hood classic movies ever. All right? So I don't care what anybody says though, man. I actually saw the movie myself, and I gotta say, man, even the soundtrack to Juice is pretty cool though, man. I'm gonna go over that shit. I'm gonna go over that shit though, man. But just a second. Yeah, let's take a look at the soundtrack of songs that's in the Juice soundtrack. Let's take a look here. All right. Yeah, so damn. Oh no. So the Juice soundtrack um was released December 31st, 1991, and of course it peaked in the US 17 and US and R&B 3, and of course certification US gold. So congratulations to Juice. All right. All right. So let's go on to the next one, and that is Don't Be a Menace to South Central While You're Drinking Your Juice in the Hood. Very interesting classic movie, man. Yeah, very interesting classic movie. So yeah, there you go right there. All right, so Don't Be a Menace to South Central While Drinking Your Juice in the Hood or simply Don't Be a Menace, is a 1996 American hood comedy film directed by Paris Barclay in his directorial debut, written by and starring Sean and Marlon Wayans, also known as the Wayans brothers, along with contributions by Phil Bowman. In the film, two cousins explore the surreal comedic world of South Central Los Angeles. Let's see. So this was run by two companies, Island Pictures, Ivory Way Productions. Of course, that's Keenan Ivory Wayne's film film production company, and Miramax Films. This came out January 12th, 1996, and of course, the budget for that particular film, I'm gonna actually go over this actually. So, the film budget is $3.8 million. All right. So, Don't Be a Menace spoofs several 1990s hood films, notably Menace to Society. I seen that one already. South Central, Juice, I just talked about. And Boys in the Hood, I already seen that. It features cameos by actors from those films, often parodying their own roles. And yes, produced by Keenan Ivory Wayans. It is the Wayans' second film to parody Black film culture and African American society after I'm Gonna Get You Sucker, which came out in 1988. Don't Be a Menace was theatrically released in in the United States on January 12th, 1996 by Miramax Films. It received mixed to negative reviews from critics, but has gained a classic timing, classic timeless following. The film grossed $20.1 million worldwide. Yeah, that's pretty much damn. Yeah, that's crazy though, man. Um, that's crazy. Anyway, let's go to the let's go to I'm not even gonna really do all this extra shit. Um listen, man. Listen, I don't know if I'm gonna go over the characters because I don't want it to be spoily. So that's the reason why I'm gonna go over the we're gonna go over the reception right here. Hold on. Okay. All right. So let's go over the box office results. Don't Be a Menace to South Central While Drinking Your Juice in the Hood collected 8,112,884 from 1,010 theaters its opening weekend, opening at number two at the box office, averaging $8,032 per theater. By the end of its theatrical run, the film domestically grossed 20,109 $1,115. All right, critical response. Rotten Tomatoes gives the film a score of 32% based on 28 reviews with an average rating of 4.70 out of 10. Metacritic gave the film a score of 53 out of 100 based on reviews from 16 critics, indicating mixed or average reviews. Chris Hicks of the Deseret News wrote the film has some laughs, but too many gags fall flat or are cheap and sleazy instead of clever and witty. Too often, the Wayneses um, make fun of women's physical attributes, mock the handicap, put a gun to someone's head, or have an elderly woman cuss and smoke pot as if they are inherently hilarious. And then the same jokes are repeated in a slightly varied form. It's called dark humor, folks. That's why it's rated R, because of the dark humor and profanity. Like, come on, man. Listen, man. Anybody's entitled to their opinions as far as like the types of movies that they watch or whatever. But you know what though, man? Like, don't let the fucking film critics dictate what they want you to think that's good versus the ones that's not. So you just go watch for yourself, all right? All right. Godfrey Chesh, Cheshire of Variety said the film has a genial and capable cast and is spirited and hilarious in odd moments, but it hardly expands on In Living Color and other Wayne's precedents. And compared with a genuinely satiric film like Rusty's Cundiff's Fear of a Black Hat, it's simple parody with little in the way of ironic commentary or real invention. Listen, man, In Living Color is a TV show, not a movie. Like, why are we comparing this to A Living Color? A Living Color is not a, a movie. It's a TV parody. It's just like a TV parody, just like Saturday Night Live. So Stephen Holden of the New York Times wrote the film's most inflammatory comment bit is when the suspicious owners of a Korean grocery store trail ashtray. Oh man, ashtray and lock dog. Oh shit. Yo, these nicknames are so fucking funny to me, man. Yeah, so yeah, through the aisles while a white customer casually steals a sack full of items and empties the cash register. On returning to his counter, the owner calls out to the departing robber, "You forgot something," and hands over the last remaining bills. Bruce Fretz of Entertainment Weekly said, "Don't Be a Menace is at its best when puncturing the preachiness of the late great John Singleton's films. Um, Big Brother Keenan Ivory Wayans appears in a cameo after each weepy uh, uh, di- didactic speech to announce message. And when making pointed jabs about race or culture, um, but many of the jokes feel too dopey. Well, I mean, look, man. I mean, look. We'll get to let's get to the soundtrack actually. So the soundtrack album was released on January 9th, 1996 via Island Records and consisted of hip hop and R&B music. The album peaked at number 18 on the Billboard 200, number 3 on the top R&B hip hop albums, and was certified gold by the Recording Industry Association of America on March 14th, 1996 for selling 500,000 copies in the United States. It spawned 5 singles: the Island inspirational All Stars gospel song "Don't Give Up," the Lost Boys "Renee." I didn't like the "To Be Continued" shit at the end of the video. I didn't like that shit. And "Can't Be Wasting My Time." Um, what is it? Who? Wait, yeah. I think that's Mona Lisa. I think that's Mona Lisa. Um, Joe's "All the Things Your Man Won't Do," and the Isley Brothers, Let's Lay Together. I didn't even know Let's Lay Together by the Isley Brothers was in the movie soundtrack. I didn't know that. That's interesting right there. Um yeah. Oh shit. But this is okay. Um okay, that's pretty smooth and interesting right there though, man. Um let me see if there's any other hood movies that I can go over actually before I go on to the next one. Let's see. Let's see. Let's see. Okay, let's take a look at some other hood movies actually. Um okay. Okay, let me see something here. Let me see. Let me see. Yeah. Okay, list of hood movies. Let's see. Let's see. Let's see. Let's see. Yeah, wait. Um Oh man, hold on. So let's see. So let me see if I can actually let me see. Let me see. Um yeah, give me 1 second. I'm trying to look for anything else that I actually didn't get a chance to go over. Let's see. Let's see. Um yeah. Um hmm. So I think I okay. Wait a minute. Straight out of Brooklyn. I don't think I went over this. I don't think I went over this actually. So this is pretty interesting. All right, Straight Out of Brooklyn is a 1991 independent film directed by Matty Rich in his directorial debut. The film is a story about Dennis, played by Larry Gilliard Jr., an African American teen living in a housing project with his sister, mother, and abusive alcoholic father. Fed up with his family's seemingly hopeless future, he plans with his friends to rob a drug dealer. Oh boy. How stupid can you be? How stupid can you be, man? Let's see. Let's see. Yeah, this movie didn't do that great though, man. Actually, no, hold on. It did. Yeah, so the budget for this movie, you're not gonna believe this. It is $450,720. That's interesting though. Hold on. So Rich wrote the screenplay when he was 17. It began as a short story and 8-minute clip, which he explains in the outtakes for the film. He made for himself and for high school kids. He made the film over a period of 2 years with an amateur um, An amateur cast working for free. Rich himself plays Dennis's friend, Larry. He financed much of the budget with credit cards and donations from family members. Rich also raised money by going on a New York City drive time radio show and asking listeners for donations. Listeners donated a total of $77,000. The total budget was $450,000 upon release. The film was critically acclaimed and grossed $2.7 million at the box office. He was just 19 years old when the film was released. Wow. Wow. That sounds pretty smart though, what he did. All right. Yeah. All right. So what we're gonna do, yeah, let's all right, so all right. So the mother and father were based on Rich's great aunt and great uncle, respectively. Dennis is patterned after Rich's cousin. Other scenarios and characters are based on his experiences and observations in the neighborhood where Rich grew up. The reception. Okay, so the reception Roger Ebert called Straight Outta Brooklyn a strong, good film. It all adds up to a convincing portrait of a big city black teenager who feels that if he does not take some sort of conclusive action, life will clam him into poverty and discouragement. On the review aggregator website Rotten Tomatoes, 80% of 10 critics' reviews are positive, with an average rating of 6.3 out of 10. Accolades at the 1992 Independent Spirit Awards. Rich won the award for Best First Feature. George T. Odom was nominated for Best Supporting Male for his portrayal of the father. Composer Harold Wheeler was nominated for Best Film Music. The film won a special jury prize at the 1991 Sundance Film Festival. Wow. Okay. Okay. Um. Wait. What? Okay. So let's get to. Let me see if there's any more. Let's see. Let's see. There's some more hood films that I want to actually go over. Actually, there's so many, man. There's so many, man. It's just wow. There's so many of this shits though. Um, yeah. I don't know if I've gone over. Oh, let's go over New Jack City. New Jack City is a 1991 American crime action film directed by Mario Van Peebles and written by Thomas Lee Wright and Barry Michael Cooper, based on a story by Wright. The film stars Wesley Snipes, Ice-T, Alan Payne, Chris Rock, Judd Nelson, Bill Cobbs, Bill Nunn, and Van Peebles. Its plot follows Nino Brown, a drug lord in New York City during the crack epidemic, and Scotty Appleton, an NYPD detective who vows to end Nino's rise of power by going undercover to work for from Nino's gang. Whew. Wow. Yeah, and the crazy thing about the budget is like the budget for this movie is $8 million. New Jack City premiered at the Sundance Film Festival on January 17th, 1991, and was released in the United States by Warner Brothers Pictures on March 8th, 1991. So the production of the film is based upon an original story and screenplay written by Thomas Lee Wright, who had worked as a story editor at the Walt Disney Company and Columbia Pictures before moving to creative executive at Paramount Pictures. According to Carl Hart, who corresponded with Wright following Hart's criticism of New Jack City, the screenplay was originally written as The Godfather Part 3 and featured a protagonist who sold heroin rather than cocaine. Wright wrote a treatment for Paramount on the idea, which they liked enough to have him try to do a first draft. Wright based his script to interviews he had with people from Little Italy in New York, along with the story of Nicky Barnes, the black kingpin who had modeled his criminal organization in Harlem after the mafia. Wright later directed and produced Eight Tray Gangster, the making of a Crip, a documentary of gang life in South Central Los Angeles. The screenplay was co-written by Barry Michael Cooper, a former investigative reporter with the Village Voice, who would later write the screenplays for the 1994 dramatic films Above the Rim. I might I might review that in the future. I'm not too sure if I gone over this, but I'll save that in the maybe file. And Sugar Hill, I might go over that in the maybe file as well. Um the latter of which also stars Snipes. Cooper's rewrite was adapted from his December 1987 Village Voice cover story entitled Kids Killing Kids. New Jack City Eats Its Young about the drug war in Detroit. The account referred to the 20th anniversary of the 1967 riots in Detroit, and in its wake, the rise of crack cocaine gangs in the late 1980s as Young Boys Incorporated and the Chambers Brothers. The original story received notice from Quincy Jones, who sought a meeting with Cooper. He was then tasked with rewrites on a screenplay that had been done about the life of Nicky Barnes. So the film took place in New York City between April 16th and June 6th of 1990. All right, now we go to the reception. New Jack City was favorably received by film critics for its cast, storyline, and soundtrack. Roger Ebert of the Chicago Sun-Times gave the film 3.5 stars out of 4, stating, Truffaut once said it was impossible to make an anti-war movie because the war sequences would inevitably be exciting and get the audience involved on one side or the other. It is almost as difficult to make an anti-drug movie since the lifestyle and money of the drug dealers looks like fun, at least until they are killed. This movie pulls off that tricky achievement. Nino, who looks at the dead body of Scarface and laughs, does not get the last laugh. Time Out London described the film as a superior of what used to be called black exploitation. Oh, damn. The film initially premiered at the Sundance Film Festival on January 17th, 1991, before being released nationally on March 8th, 1991. The film, produced with an estimated $8 million budget, grossed $7,039,622 during its opening weekend. It became the highest grossing independent film of 1991, grossing a total of $47,624,253 domestically. All right, so the film holds an 81% on Rotten Tomatoes based on 37 reviews, with an average rating of 6.7 out of 10. The site's consensus states stylishly directed by Mario Van Peebles, New Jack City offsets its melodramatic streak with electrifying action and a a cow a cavalcade no excuse me a cavalcade of effective performances. On Metacritic, the film has a weighted average score of 61 out of 100 based on 13 critics, indicating generally favorable reviews. All right, so yeah, and the New Jack City soundtrack was released March 5th, 1991, Giant Records, and it received um it was platinum US. Yeah, yeah. So let's see. Damn, Ren, really? You want to actually do you? Damn. So in 2019, Deadline announced that Warner Brothers are rebooting the film with Malcolm Mays writing. I'm not too sure if that's going to really sit well with anybody, but wow. So, oh boy, I don't know if that's going to really work, but Cooper suggested Teddy Riley name his new genre New Jack Swing after the film. The New Orleans based hip hop record label Cash Money Records is named after the Cash Money Brothers gang. Cash Money Records Little Cash Money Records rapper Lil Wayne has a series of albums titled The Carter after the Carter Complex, and Lil Wayne and Tiger have referred to themselves as Young Nino. Yeah, I don't know how this is gonna pull off though, man, with this reboot though. I'm not too sure about that. Let's see. Let's see. What other hood movies I can go over? Let's see. I already did Juice. Um, wait a minute here. Wait a minute here. All right. So, South Central is a 1992 American crime drama film written and directed by Stephen Milburn Anderson. This film is an adaptation of the 1987 fiction novel, The Original South Central LA Crips by Donald Bakir, a former high school teacher in South Central Los Angeles. The film stars Glenn Plummer, Byron Mins, and Christian Coleman. South Central was produced by Oliver Stone and released by Warner Brothers. Oh boy. Yeah, and damn, another movie budget that is like lower than the previous that was $8 million. Okay, so the budget of the movie is $4 million. All right, so go over this actually. Let's go over this actually. So the movie received wide critical acclaim, with many praising Plummer's performance and New Yorker magazine praising it as one of the year's best independent films. Janet Maslin of the New York Times named Anderson in the who's who among hot new filmmakers in 1992, along with Quentin Tarantino and Tim Robbins. Okay. Let's see. Yeah, I'm not gonna go over the characters and shit, so I'm not gonna go over the characters and shit. So let's get a look at real quick on the review aggregator. On the review aggregator website, Rotten Tomatoes, 78% of non-critics reviews are positive. On Metacritic, the film has a score of 64 out of 100 based on 16 critics, indicating generally favorable reviews. Owen Gleiberman of Entertainment Weekly wrote, the film offers a wrenching view of modern youth gang violence by demonstrating with desperate candor that the civilized alternatives are fast disappearing. So in the box office, it made South Central, also R-rated movie, made $1,373,196. Wow. Wow, wow, wow. Okay. Let's see what other hood movies that I can go over to kill time. Oh my gosh. Okay. Okay. All right, 1990s. Let's see. Oh Lord. Oh shit. What the hell? New Jersey Drive? Huh? Are you kidding me? Are you kidding me? Yeah, I'm surprised. I didn't even get a chance. I'm surprised I didn't even go over this. That's it. That's interesting. Oh shit. Okay, New Jersey Drive is a 1995 crime drama film written and directed by Nick Gomez and executive produced by Spike Lee. The film is about joyriding teenagers in the 1990s, Newark, New Jersey. Wow, the tri state area, then known as the car theft capital of the world. The film was an official selection at the 1995 Sundance Film Festival. Oh, shit. Okay, so it stars Sharon Corley, Gabriel Cassius, Solstein, and Gwen McGee. Jeez. Production company, 40 Acres in the Mule Filmworks, and distributed by Gramercy Pictures. All right, so so it came out. So it was at the Sundance Film Festival, January 1995, and of course it was released April 19th, 1995. So, and another movie that is in the lower budget is $5 million. That's how much the movie cost. 5 million. Oh shit. Oh shit. All right. Um. Now we go to the production section right here. Director Nick Gomez originally pictured the film taking place in Boston or Washington Heights in Manhattan, New York, but ultimately set his sights on New York after reading about teenagers and joyriding in several articles by the New York Times. In an on-location interview, he stated that he himself used to steal cars for joyrides as a teenager in a working class neighborhood in Boston where he previously lived. Upon seeking permission to shoot the film in the city of New York itself, city officials would not give permission to film in the city limits. Therefore, locations in Williamsburg, Brooklyn, and Glendale, Queens, New York were chosen. Ironically, director Gomez stated that even if he had been granted permission, he still would have shot some scenes in Brooklyn since it was more conveniently located near his home and film studio in Manhattan. Filming commenced in late March 1994 and concluded on May 16th of that year. Gomez had mixed thoughts about the finished film, explaining that though he was given a significantly larger budget than his directorial debut film, Laws of Gravity, studio heads at Universal, which then had a partnership with Spike Lee's production company, 40 Acres and a Mule, felt the script for New Jersey Drive contained elements that were too germane to the basic thrust of the story. They wanted to push the more obvious action moments. There was also a lot of talk about narrative signposts and that kind of thing, which I just don't understand. The budget for the production was reduced from 8 million to $5 million, and though Gomez thought about taking the project to a different company. He was already 5 months long into developing the screenplay and did not want to have to start all over again somewhere else. However, Gomez did not completely disown the film, saying the film is mine, and every decision and every compromise had to made along the way was my decision, for better or worse. And the soundtrack. All right, hold on a second. All right, the New Jersey Drive soundtrack was released March 28th, 1999, and peak chart position was 22. U.S. and R&B chart, U.S. R&B chart was 3, and it received gold. Um, New Jersey Drive Volume 2, released April 11th, 1995. Tommy Boy, 58. US R&B 9. So let's go to the reception. On Rotten Tomatoes, the film holds a rating of 64% from 14 reviews with an average rating of 6.3 out of 10. The film received critical acclaim for its realism and naturalistic performances. Roger Ebert gave the film 3 out of 4 stars, praising Gomez's good ear for dialogue and writing of his characters. He added, "The movie is expert on how cars are stolen, which is in 10 seconds. It is also expert on how a smart and essentially prudent kid ends up inside a lot of stolen cars and gets into a lot of trouble." Ebert's colleague, Gene Sisco of the Chicago Tribune, also gave a positive review, calling it a thoughtful, dense, and ultimately sad mosaic of street life that communicates one idea very well, that a lot of street crime derives from precious few alternatives. Cisco Siskel noted. Director Nick Gomez fades in and out of scenes of carjackers and joyrides that escalate quite naturally into deadly trips. To the film's credit, the lasting memory is of more than just a brutal rogue white cop. And so the movie made $3.5 million. All right, let's see if there's anything else as far as any of the hood movies I'd like to go over. Let's see. Let me see. Haha. Ah, shit. Oh man. So, oh boy. This is interesting. I don't think I remember. Oh boy. Okay, Slam is a 1998 American independent drama film directed, co-written, and co-produced by Mark Levin, and starring and co-written by Soul Williams and Sonia Son. Not to be confused with the Onyx song Slam, folks. This is different. It tells the story of a young African American man whose talent for poetry is hampered by his social background. Oh boy. Oh boy. Okay. So Saul Williams, Sonia Son, Mark Levin, Bonds Malone, and Bo Sia. And of course, the music by DJ Spooky. I don't know who that guy is. Let's see. So I guess this was an independent film. This wasn't in. Yeah, this was an independent film. It's not gonna say what the budget is though, man. But yeah, this was an independent film actually. So let's see. So the film received mixed to positive reviews from critics. The film holds a 61% approval rating on Rotten Tomatoes based on reviews from 23 critics with an average rating of 6.8 out of 10. It won the grand jury prize for a dramatic film at the 1998 Sundance Film Festival as well as the Camera d'Or at the 1998 Cannes Film Festival. S- Um, Son and Williams won Breakthrough Acting Awards for their starring roles in the film as Belle and Joshua's respectively at the 1998 Gotham Independent Film Awards. Oh wow. So let's see. A soundtrack containing hip hop music was released on October 13th, 1998 by Epic Records. It was produced by Paul D. Miller, aka DJ Spooky. That's a scary nickname for a DJ. Oh shit, that's a scary ass nickname, man. It peaked, it peaked at 84 on the Billboard 200 and 24 on the top R&B hip hop albums. Oh boy. Ah. Oh wow. Yeah, that's crazy, man. Okay, let's take a look at the track listing for this actually. So, Cake B performed by hold on, Bonds Malone, Sex, Money, and Drugs, performed by the late great Big Pun, and Next, The World I Know, performed by Goody Mob and uh, es- Estero. Thug Poetry, performed by Nori Brown and Maze. I Dare You, performed by the late great Black Rob. Ain't No Stopping, performed by Philly's Most Wanted, Prize, and the product G and B. Psychopath Nut, performed by Mo Stewart. Hey, performed by Q-Tip from A Tribe Called Quest. The Park, performed by the late great Old Dirty Bastard and Coolio. Of course, Dope. Um, Dope, which stands for Drugs Oppress People Every Day, performed by Dead Prez. Why, performed by Jerome Goldman. Um, Feel My Gap Blow, performed by Mob Deep. Can I See, performed by Takita and Capadonna. Time is Running Out, performed by Brand Nubian. Run Free by Sonia San. Take a Walk in My Shoes, performed by Flipmo Squad. Ocean Within, performed by KRS-One and Saul Williams. Galactic Funk, performed by DJ Spooky. Shack Clack Clack, performed by Saul Williams. Holy shit. Oh shit. Did not even know that though, man. Whew, boy. So track 2 contains samples from Sunshine by Earth, Wind, and Fire. Track 4 contains samples from Rainbow Ride by the Charlie Daniels Band. Track 5 contains samples from Under the Influence of Love by Love Unlimited. Track 6 contains a sample of 121 by Brass Construction. Track 9 contains samples from Rock Creek Park by the Blackbirds. Let's see what the chart is. Okay, 84 on the US Billboard 200, US top R&B hip hop albums Billboard 200. Actually, hold on. Billboard 24 peak position. Okay, so there you go right there. Let me see. I don't know about the first. Yeah, Slam was preserved and restored by the UCLA Film and Television Archive and the Academy Film Archive in conjunction with Sundance Institute from a 35 millimeter interpositive, a 35 millimeter magnetic track, DA 88s, and an MO disc. Restoration funding was provided by the Academy of Motion Picture Arts and Sciences, Sundance Institute, and the UCLA Film and Television Archive. The restoration had its Los Angeles premiere at the 2024 UCLA Festival of Preservation. Okay, so let's see. All right. Yeah, so there you go, right there. All right, I'm gonna go over one more hood movie. One more hood movie. One more hood movie I'm gonna go over actually. So yeah, one more hood movie actually. So um one more hood movie actually. One more hood movie. One more hood movie. Actually, let's do two more hood movies. Let's do two more hood movies actually. So let's go with Into Deep. Into Deep, another R-rated movie, is a 1999 American crime thriller film directed by Michael Reimer from a screenplay written by Michael Henry Brown and Paul Aaron. The film stars Omar Epps, LL Cool J, Nia Long, Stanley Tucci, Hill Hopper, and Pam Grier. And of course, it was distributed by Miramax Films. The budget is $7 million. Let's see the reception here. So, the movie received mixed reviews on the review aggregator website Rotten Tomatoes. 39% of 57 critics reviews are positive. The website's consensus reads, in quote, this shallow police film doesn't establish any kind of rhythm. Metacritic which uses a weighted average, assigned the film a score of 53 out of 100 based on 28 critics, indicating mixed or average reviews. In an interview, LL Cool J singled out Into Deep as his favorite acting performance, playing the villain. Just being able to let loose and put guns in people's mouths and put them on pool tables and torture them and all that. Like, that was right up my alley. I loved everything about it, man. It was loose, it was street, it was ghetto, it was enjoyable playing a completely different person. The movie recoup, recouped its budget at the box office, making $14 million from its $7 million budget. All right, let's go over the soundtrack, man. Okay, soundtrack containing hip hop music was released on August 24th, 1999 by Columbia Records. It made it to number 28 on the Billboard 200 and number 8 on the top R&B and hip hop albums, and featured 50 Cent's debut single "How to Rob." Oh shit. All right, let's take a look at the soundtrack of the tracks that's in it. Let's take a look at the tracks though, man. Oh shit. Only 4 tracks? Really? Really? Really though? Really though? No, 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 no. There's more than 4 tracks, man. I'm bugging. I'm fucking bugging. Anyway, In Too Deep performed by Nas and Nature. Um, Tear It Off performed by Method Man and Redman. The Specialist performed by Ali Vegas. Used to Me Spending performed by R. Kelly Nokia and Jazz Ming. How to Rob performed by 50 Cent and Mad Rapper. Thug Money performed by Trick Daddy Keys to the Range, performed by Jagged Edge and Jermaine Dupri, aka JD. Bleeding from the Mouth, performed by Capone and Noriega and the Locks. Rowdy Rowdy, performed by 50 Cent. Where Your Heart At, performed by Mobb Deep. Bust a Nut, performed by The Product, G&B, and Marie Antoinette. Give Me a Reason, performed by Dave Hollister. Dreaming, performed by Jill Scott. Something About Love, performed by Imagine. And Quiet Storm remix, performed by Havoc, Mobb Deep, and Lil Kim. Let's go to the chart. Professional ratings is All Music gave it 3 stars. US Billboard 200 for the soundtrack is 28. US top R&B hip hop albums on Billboard, which is 8. Let's see. There's gotta be more to this shit. All right, so I'm do one more hood movie. One more hood movie, actually. All right, so here we go. All right, so Thicker Than Water is a 1999 American film directed by Richard Cummings Jr. and starring a host of rappers and urban entertainers such as Fat Joe. Congratulations to him and Jada on their Joe and Jada show podcast. They on Netflix right now. I'm not going to get into it. I'll probably cover that in my other podcast show, my comedy podcast show. So I'll cover that there. Mac 10, Ice Cube, MC, EIHT, and the late great Big Pun. The film showcases rappers from both the East and the West Coast, as it was made after the end of the East Coast West Coast feud. You mean ground beef? Yeah, so this is another independent film actually by Palm Pictures. All right, so Palm Pictures actually. So yeah, so let's go over the characters these rappers play. So Mac 10 plays Darius DJ Stone, Fat Joe plays Charles Lonzo Medina, Ice Cube plays Fred Slink Stone, DJ It as Lil Ant, CJ Mack as Gator, Big Pun as Punny, K Mac as Tyree, Tamia Bowden as Layla. Um, Kedada Jones as Brandy, Crazy Bone as Man on Plane, Flesh and Bone as Man on Plane, Badass as Badass, and of course Be Real from Cypress Hill. All right, so the soundtrack containing hip hop music was released on October 5th, 1999 by Priority Records. It peaked at number 64 on the Billboard 200 and number 8 top R&B hip hop albums. It spawned a single in Let It Rain by Westside Connection. All right, let's take a look at the track listings. Yeah, so all right, Let It Rain performed by Westside Connection, LB 2000 performed by Technique Culture, no Technique Solture. Sultray, excuse me. Technique Sultray. Live Life to the Fullest performed by Memphis Bleak. Game Bang Shit performed by Road Dogs, Mac 10, and Squeak Roo. Thicker Than Water performed by Terror Squad. The Belly of the Beast performed by 8 Ball and Big Duke. Thicker Than Water performed by hold on. No, Thicker Than Blood, excuse me, sorry. Thicker Than Blood performed by Terror Squad. Thicker Than Water performed by MC EIHT and Val Young. I Don't Want to Die, performed by King T. It's Time to Roll, performed by um the children of the ghetto, and Mac 10, King of LA, performed by CJ Mack. Who got some gangster shit, performed by Mac 10, Badass, CJ Mack, Binky Mac, Road Dogs, K Mac, and Technique. Survival of the Fittest, performed by Black Tovin. Oh shit. Oh my fucking gosh, man. These nicknames are so fucking hilarious, man. But anyway, man, Black Tovin, Dresta, WC, and Young Shane. And of course, Planet Rock, performed by Tech Nine. Oh man. And of course, this too includes Wanna Be Gangster, performed by the Comrades, and So Trey. Me and My Bitch, performed by MC It and Tech Nine. EIHT. Half a Million, performed by So Trey. Flagrant, performed by Chauclair. Chauclair. Um Hate, performed by CJ Mack. Drug Lord, performed by Children of Goldies, The Ghetto. Partners in Crime, performed by Mr. DJ Battlecat, Mr. Mike. Do You Want to Get With This? Performed by Sultray and Technique. Oh boy. Ha! Yeah, performed by Mike. Excuse me, performed by Mike. Let's see. Police Rush, The Spot, performed by SPK, Thugged Out, Noriega Mays, and Mussolini. Gangsta, performed by Mac 10. Flex With You, performed by Charlie Jameson and Wild Style. Blue Liquid, performed by Beefy Lock DJ. Wait, Beefy Lock and Swoop G. Hold up. Mashing and Smashing, performed by Blue Capone and Technique. Um, you know, performed by Gangster. Freeze, performed by Double MO. There we go. So there you go, right there. Oh Lord. So there you go, right there. Um. So, um. So, U.S. Billboard 200 gives the movie soundtrack 64 position, peak position. U.S. top R&B hip hop albums, Billboard 8. All right, I'm gonna save the rest of the hood movies for next time. Um, I'm gonna save it for next time actually. So, we're gonna go into some gaming news actually. So let's get into some gaming news and stuff, man. So I want to make sure that I actually let me make sure. All right. Yes. Let me see. Let me see. Yeah. I already talked about GameStop. I already talked about GameStop. Let me see. Um, let me see. Let me see something here. Um, Let me see something here. Let me just grab. Um, mhm, mhm. Okay. All right. All right. So we're gonna get into some gaming news, actually, some video gaming news, man. So let's get into the. Hang on a second. Um. All right, we're gonna hit the video games chamber. Let's do this. Hold on. Here we go. Video games chamber. Let's go over some games that came out in the month of February. Almost coming out in the month. Actually, some of the dates actually in the month of February. So let's go over that right there. Let's see. Let's see. All right. Okay, so for the month of February, all right. So here are some of the games that came out in the month of February. You got Norse Oath of Blood, Yap Yap PC, both for PC, Dead Pets, a punk rock slice of life sim, Dragon Quest 7 Reimagined for PC, PS5, Nintendo Switch, Nintendo Switch 2, Xbox Series, and Menace on PC, My Hero Academia, All Justice, PC, PS5, Xbox Series. Um, Neo NIOH 3 came out for PC and PS5. Mugenics came out for PC. Reloaded for PC and Xbox Series. Romeo is a Dead Man for PC, PS5, and Xbox Series. Yakuza Kiwami 3 and Dark Ties um, came out for PC, PS4, PS5, Nintendo Switch 2, Xbox Series. Blaze Blue Entropy Effect X, PC, PS5, Xbox Series. I think the X is 10. Anyway, Mario Tennis Fever came out for Nintendo Switch 2, Ride 6 for PC, PS5, Xbox Series. The Sims 4 Royalty and Legacy for PC, PS4, Xbox One. High on Life 2 for PC, PS5, Xbox Series. Reanimal. Oh shit. Reanimal came out for PC and PS5, Xbox Series. Aerial Knights Drop Shot for PC, PS4, PS5, Xbox Series already came out. Star Trek Voyager Across the Unknown for PC, PS5, Xbox Series. Death Howl came out on the 19th of this week for PS5, Nintendo Switch, Xbox Series. Wise X came out today. Wise X Proud Nordics came out today for PC, PS5, Nintendo Switch 2. All right, so No Sleep for Caname Date from AI, the Somnium Files for PS4, PS5, February 26th. Also coming out the same day, February 26th, is Tokyo Extreme Racer. February 27th, Resident Evil Biohazard comes out for Nintendo Switch 2. Resident Evil Requiem for PC, PS5, Xbox Series. Also coming out on the 27th is Resident Evil Village for Nintendo Switch 2. Tales of Berseria Remastered. Also comes out the same day as February 27th for PC, PS5, and Nintendo Switch, alongside with Xbox Series. All right, we need to go over something actually. We need to go over something. Let's see. We need to go over something actually. So here it is. Here it is. This was posted this week on Video Games Chronicles, so I'm actually gonna go over it. So let's get into it right here. So damn. All right, so 2026 new game releases are off to a strong start. After February brought us Resident Evil Requiem, Neo 3, and more. March looks to be a busy month for game release dates, with the likes of Marathon, Pokemon, Pocopia, and Monster Hunter Stories 3 arriving in stores. So looking ahead, Sorrows, Pragmata, and Tomodachi Life, Living the Dream, are planned to release in April, followed by 007 First Light, Forza Horizon 6, and Lego Batman Legacy of the Dark Knight arriving in May. As is typical for video game releases at the time of publishing this article, we know little about what's planned to come out in the second half of 2026. That's partly because developers have yet to finalize their plans, but also because Grand Theft Auto 6 currently planned to arrive in November, something everyone scrambled to avoid last year, only for it to be delayed again. All right. So here you go. So the biggest games releasing in March includes World of Warcraft Midnight, Monday March 2nd for PC, Tuesday March 3rd, Legacy of Kain Defines Remastered for PS5, Xbox, and PC. Also coming out on the 3rd is Scott Pilgrim EX for PS5, Nintendo Switch, Xbox, and PC. Marathon Thursday, March 5th for PS5 and Xbox and PC. Planet of Lana 2, Children of the Leaf, also comes out the same day for PS5 and PS4, Xbox, and Nintendo Switch 1 and 2, and PC. Pokemon Pocopia comes out the same day as Nintendo Switch 2. Ghost of Yotai Legends comes out Tuesday, March 10th for PS5. Fatal Frame 2 Crimson Butterfly Remake, Thursday, March 12th. Fatal Frame 2 Crimson Butterfly Remake for PS5, Nintendo Switch 2, Xbox, and PC. Followed by John Carpenter's Toxic Commando for PS5, Xbox, and PC. Also coming out on the 12th of Thursday, Rolled Out for PC, Xbox, PS5, and Switch. Solasta 2, Thursday, March 12th for PC. 1348 X Voto also comes out for PC and Xbox, followed by PS5. Monster Hunter Stories 3 Twisted Reflection comes out on Friday the 13th for PS5, Nintendo Switch 2, Xbox, and PC, followed by WWE 2K26 PS5, Nintendo Switch 2, Xbox, PC, Shadow Tactics, Blades of the Shogun. Wednesday, March 8th for Nintendo Switch 2. Nintendo Switch 2, Crimson Desert, Thursday, March 19th for PS5, Xbox, and PC. Death Stranding 2 on the Beach also comes out the same day for PC. Dynasty Warriors 3 Complete Edition um remastered um for PS5, Nintendo Switch 2, Xbox, and PC. Mouse PI for hire for PS5, Nintendo Switch 2, Xbox, and PC also comes out the same day. All right. All right. I'm actually going to stop right there. I actually saw something actually. I saw something actually. So I'm gonna actually look up something actually. Okay. PlayStation 6 delay news. Okay. Okay. I actually saw on Instagram in regards to Sony pushing back the PlayStation 6. I'm actually looking, I want to look into this right here. So let's see, PlayStation 6 may be delayed. Oh boy. Ramageddon. The hell? Sony considering PlayStation 6 delayed to 2029. Yeah. Because Nintendo might be hiking the price and shit. All right, so this is according to NME. A new report claims that the new PlayStation 6 console might not launch until 2029 due to the rising cost of memory chips. Sony has yet to officially announce the PlayStation 6, but it was widely believed the next gen console had been due to launch at some point next year alongside a handheld Nintendo Switch 2 rival. Hold on. Come on. All right. So, however, a new report by Bloomberg claims that due to a shortage of memory chips, Sony is now considering pushing the launch of PS6 back to 2028 or 2029. That would be a major upset to a carefully orchestrated strategy to sustain user engagement between hardware generations. It's also claimed that Nintendo is contemplating raising the price of Nintendo Switch 2 this year due to the scarcity of memory chips. However, neither Sony or Nintendo responded to requests for comment. The lack of memory chips is being blamed on the rise of AI data data centuries. As companies scramble to keep up with demand from users, it's thought the shortage isn't set to improve anytime soon either. Last month, Elon Musk said Tesla had two choices: hit the chip wall or make our own, with our tech bosses warning the prices could become parabolic as we enter Ramageddon. Ramageddon, damn. Over the past 12 months, chip prices have risen by as much as 172%. It's already having an impact on the Steam Deck. Yesterday, Valve confirmed that the Steam Deck OLED may be out of stock intermittently in some regions due to memory and storage shortages, while the Steam Deck LCD 256 gigabytes is no longer in production and once sold out will no longer be available. Earlier this year, they also delayed the release date of their Steam machine. End quote. When we announced these products in November, we plan on being able to share specific pricing and launch dates by now. But the memory and the storage shortages actually you've likely heard about across the industry have rapidly increased since then. The limited availability and growing prices of these critical components mean we must revisit our exact shipping schedule and pricing. So there you go, right there. And I know you probably heard about um, Logan Paul, who auctioned off a rare Pikachu Pokemon card for a record-breaking $16.492 million. The crazy part is that shit comes with a chain. That's the craziest part, though. How the hell do you make a pendant out of a fucking um Pokemon card? That's so weird to me. That's fucking weird to me, man. You feel what I'm saying? Yeah. Let me know in the comments how you feel about the PlayStation 6 delay to 2028 or 2029 and the other specific music topics and the hip hop topics, the hood classic movies that I just went over. Um, so yeah. So yeah, there you go right there. Um I'm about to wrap all right, I'm about to wrap this up right now actually. Let's see if I can actually get this hold on. Okay. All right. I don't know what the hell happened here, but um not sure what happened here, but anyway, man. Anyway, hold on. Anyway. All right, let's get to stream choices on the go. Let's go. All right. Make sure you follow Meticulous Vibe Juice Podcast, Blue Sky Social, Threads, and Instagram. The same goes for my other sports. The same goes for my other podcast shows. My sports edition show, Excellent Fun Vibrant Talks podcast, alongside with Off the Meat Rat Chainz New York Avenue podcast. Make sure you follow those pages. And you can also follow your host with the most G Money Stacks 555 in Queens, New York. And yeah, both on Threads and Instagram. So you can follow those pages as well. If you go to the link in bio, where it says Linktree/Meticulous Vibe Juice 5, you're gonna see a list of streaming platforms, which I'll gladly go over with you. I'll gladly go over with you. Once you click on there, you're gonna see a whole audio streaming platform podcast feed links, which includes Audible, Odyssey, Amazon Music, Apple Podcasts. Make sure you don't forget to leave a 5-star rating and a positive review on Apple Podcasts. It really helps me out as the host and creator to create more content, create more topics to talk about in the review of this particular show right here. And of course, we're also on Castbox FM. These are listen notes, Moon FM podcast, Overall FM podcast. um, Pandora, Player FM, Pocket Cast, Podo Polo, Podorama, Podcast Index, Podcast Addict, Podchaser, Podverse, Podcast Guru, Podcatcher, Podcast Republic. You can also listen on Snipped, Spotify for creators. You can also listen on Spotify for creators, TuneIn Radio. You can also listen on Fountain, Good Pods, iHeartRadio, the number one app where you can listen to your favorite music artists, such as rappers, R&B singers. There's pop stars, there's different music artists in different music genres. Your favorite AM and FM radio stations, and you don't need a credit card to download iHeartRadio. All you need to do is download iHeartRadio onto your phones, which includes your iPhones, your Android phones, iPads, Android tablets, alongside with laptops, which includes Apple and Dell laptop models, which includes Windows 10 and Windows 11. All right. Also, make sure you click on the subscribe button on the YouTube channel of Meticulous Vibe Juice Podcast Entertainment YouTube channel page. Leave a like and a comment. Tell me how you feel in the comment section on today's topics and in this episode and every every episode previously. You can share the Linktree link with your husbands, your wives, your boyfriends, girlfriends, people you're cool with, and alongside with some friends that are into movie reviews, TV reviews, hip hop, rap, R&B, and other topics, gaming news, all that great stuff right there, man, is included. Let's see. You can download the episodes actually. That really helps a lot. You can also share this with everybody. You can make sure you can enable alerts so you don't miss out on when I'll be on the air via live stream with more new topics, podcast recordings, and of course more video podcast episode live stream recordings. And of course, new episodes will drop on Tuesdays, Fridays, and Saturdays. All right. So yeah. And before I forget, make sure you subscribe to my other channels. My sports YouTube channel page. Excellent, fun, vibrant talks podcast. I just recorded episode 116 last night, almost around the same time as the Queens Baseball Live podcast. And also make sure you subscribe to my other YouTube channel page, G Money Stacks 555, for all the Off the Meat Rat Chainz New York Avenue podcast episodes that's already uploaded to the YouTube channel page. All right, make sure you check those episodes out. Like, comment, share with everybody, and all that great stuff right there. All right, so I'm about to sign off. That's rhymes with now or later, and I'd like to say thank you very much to every single one of you who got the chance to listen to the podcast episodes on every streaming platform. especially if you are in the US, the five boroughs, Long Island, everywhere, man. Truly appreciate that though, man. You could have listened to any other podcast in the whole world, but you chose to listen to this entertainment review show, Meticulous Vibe Juice podcast. I really appreciate that. Remember, the grind doesn't stop. Hard work pays off. If you want something, you have to work hard and earn it. It's not going to be given to you on a fucking silver platter. And follow your goals and dreams. Don't let anybody tell you what you can and can't do as far as like your talents, creativity, whatsoever. If you plan on starting a podcast, be sure to be yourself behind the microphone as you are recording your podcast episodes. And of course, find your niche and of course find you when and everything else in between. So yeah, be on your P's and Q's creatively, mentally, get you into your zone alongside with tunnel vision. All right. All right, man. All right, so that's gonna do it for me, man. Stay tuned for more new topics in the next episode in this review show platform. All right, I'm about to sign off. I hope y'all enjoy your weekend and everything else in between. And of course, there's going to be some. There might be another. We might be in for another snowstorm whatsoever. So if you don't have to be outside or anything like that, what is just stay home. And of course, I know about the New Jersey transit changes. The rerouting of the Amtrak and the New Jersey Transit. Instead, they're not going to Manhattan. It's being rerouted to the opposite direction, which I will cover on my other show, Off the Meat Rat Chainz New York Avenue podcast, in one of the following episodes. So stay tuned for that. And I got more content, more podcast episodes coming your way. All right. So stay tuned for more new topics in the next episode. Peace and one love. Be careful out there. Stay safe. Stay warm. I hope you have your winter hats, your winter gloves, your scarves, your jackets, your hoodies, your jogging pants, alongside with alongside with um alongside with your gloves and mittens. Make sure you lay up and everything else. So there you go, man. Peace and one love. Take care of yourselves. Make sure you check in on one another. Make sure you check in on one another as far as moral support, mental health, all that great stuff right there. I'm out of here. Peace out. Have a good night, everybody, and have a nice weekend. Good night, everybody.